volume. If you click your clock, it'll tell you your battery level, no upcoming appointments for today, or it will tell you tomorrow's appointments right here. That's a handy feature. It's got shortcut keys on the front here, which are customizable if you like, through the settings menu. Now, as for settings, you can choose your buttons. That's how you choose what these do down here at the bottom. See, you can either choose Windows Media, Nevo, etc. You can also do long holds, where calendar, contacts, messaging, whatever you like. Up and down control for your up and down here for scrolling. And you can also do key lock if you'd like. Now, and you can put in a password, your owner identification, etc. Your system. This is where you control your memory. If something gets hung up, see if you can get here and go to running programs. And you can see how so many things are running that's really bogging down the system, so you can hit stop all, or you can select one and stop it. And that should free up. It's kind of like Task Manager on Windows XP or Vista or whatever you happen to use. You can also look at how much your storage card is being used for your main memory or your SD card. That is also how many programs are running at the moment, and basically how the memory is being divided. Don't need to worry with that. You can also check your battery level, add and remove programs. Self-test is the best thing you want to do if you're buying one of these, because it will let you test sound, calibration, everything pretty much. Just hit start and walk your way through it. Another thing to keep in mind if you're buying one of these is the battery. You can plug it in and it will work fine and say it's charging, but if it won't hold a charge, you're going to need a new battery, which is about 20 bucks from Radio Shack. These things, after all these years, most of the time the original battery will not hold a charge anymore, and you'll have to get a new one. I had to pay to get one from Radio Shack. I ordered it offline, came in a couple of days later, no problem. It does have a smaller battery that will keep your programs and your settings for a certain amount of time. However, it too needs to be charged at the same time. It does not go bad, and you shouldn't need to replace it. I don't even think you can, even if you wanted to. Connections basically sets up your connections. No problems there. Okay, little jump cut there. My camera ran out of memory. Alright, turn it back on. Oh, wow, that's not focused at all. Oops. 1 second. So, I finally got mine to connect to Wi-Fi once again with the method I mentioned earlier. And let's go to Internet Explorer. Now, it is a slower processor and it is a slower internet connection, so don't expect pages to load like that. However, it loads them reasonably quickly. Starting it up first takes a little longer because it has to get things going, but once it's up and running, you're pretty much good to go. Here's ask.com. You also have your favorites down at the... Sorry, text message came in. You also have your favorites list, Wikipedia, or the preloaded ones. Most of them don't work anymore. MSN Mobile does, and it does let you watch video through MSN Mobile. One of the few sites that this can still play video for. TinyTube on there doesn't work. Haven't figured it out yet. Streaming radio, that does work sometimes. If you want the exact address, it is thestreamcenter.com. Some of the links on here work, some of them don't. So it's just kind of a hit and miss on that one. You can also pull up forums and pretty much any text-based website. Flash-based websites, not going to work. This doesn't have Flash. Well, it does, but it's a very, very old version of Flash, so it might as well not have it. And Adobe doesn't offer anything new for it. It also has a very, very old version of Java on there, and once again, Java doesn't offer anything new. So it's kind of hit and miss on these newer sites that are using Flash and Java. But pretty much any text-based site is going to start up no problem, depending on how big it is. FEOA.net is a forum, so it's mostly text, but it's a very large forum. So sometimes you may need to refresh to get it to load. Here it goes. Come on. You know you want to. Well, here, let's try something else. Let's try MSN Mobile. Come on now. Or there we go. I'm getting impatient. Alright, here's MSN Mobile. You can check your mail, Messenger, MSNBC, etc. Here's where you get to your video on it through this little icon there, which brings up video highlights. And it indeed does play them, which is one of the few websites that actually still supports it. You just click on it here. And I'm going to pull up the Harry Potter trailer for the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Yes, it is. So you can play low, play high, or you can download it. Both low and high work. I haven't really noticed much of a quality difference between the two, but let's try playing a high. It'll bring up Windows Media Player. It'll locate it, connect, buffer, etc. Alright. It took a little while for it to buffer and load, but here is the trailer I was talking about earlier for Harry Potter. Now you can click this button here and go to full screen. And it works no problem, your typical YouTube quality. So we'll stop that because we don't really have time to watch Harry Potter trailers. That works no problem, but seems to only work on this site. So you can also download it if you like and save it to your SD card, or if it's small enough, save it to the actual memory of the device. So that works pretty good. Other than that, pretty much any text-based, like I said, Wikipedia, any search engine. Some sites offer mobile interfaces, like Wikipedia has a mobile interface, Ask.com has a mobile interface. That is a good thing because it automatically scales the websites down to a manageable size for these devices, so it doesn't take 10 years to load them. Whereas FEOA doesn't have that interface, and it'll take 10 years to load this thing up because it's that big. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have to scroll to the bottom and say enable mobile interface. So that is your basic internet. No problem at all if you want to just poke around for a few minutes. Some applications like Skype, MSN Messenger connect through the internet. They work no problem, just as long as you've got your Wi-Fi set up properly. Like I said, through the method earlier with the icon that will pop up here. And that pretty much is it. If you do have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I try to check the messages whenever I can remember, and I will do my best to answer any questions that I can. I paid about $40 for this. I found it at a garage sale. It was used. The original stylus was missing. This one came off of another one, and it just came with the charger. I had to put another $20 in it for a new battery, which came from Radio Shack, and is just their standard Linmar or whatever it is. Works just fine. The 1440 milliamp hours is going to give you a little more battery life than the standard, which I believe was around 1100 if I'm not mistaken. But as long as it says for HP iPAQ, you're good to go. You can also get a memory card if you like. Remember, SD card only up to 2 gigabytes. Any more than that, it may not recognize it. I don't know, I haven't tried. But I do know that 2 gigabyte works no problem. You can also use your USB to transfer files via that way through ActiveSync, which is a free program from Microsoft. If you have XP, it's called ActiveSync. If you have Windows Vista or 7, it is known as Mobile Media Device Center or Mobile Device Center, one of the two. Either, they both are the same program, works no problem. You can also install your programs that way. Or you can install your programs by loading them onto the memory card and running them that way. It depends on the file type. If it's a .cab file, usually you have to load those and run them from the device itself. If it's a .exe, then you need to use ActiveSync. As for your pictures, movies, music, just put them straight on the memory card from your card reader on your PC. Or if you don't have a card reader, you can transfer them through here, but it's a little slower. And to access them, just go to your programs and File Explorer. No problem. There's your SD card right there. Access all your documents, all your files, pictures, movies, whatever you want to put on here. Like I said, if you do have any questions, I will do my best to try and answer them. I do check messages and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I don't know too much about programming and etc., but I do know a little bit about this. One more thing I want to add: if you do buy one, go here to your self-test. Whoops. Yeah, on your system tab, down here at the bottom, do a self-test on it. That's the easiest way to tell if something's wrong. For example, my record button over here doesn't work anymore. But this will tell you, see, it even has a button test, a Wi-Fi, a notification, etc. That'll be the easiest way to let you know if something's wrong with the sucker. Other than that, good luck. Hope you found one, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching.